Constituting a quorum, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Recreation and Parks Board for the city of Port Lavaca. First item on the agenda is general discussion and hear statement from citizens. Anything in general?
There's no one else.
Okay, our meeting next month will be March the 20th, so if you will go ahead and mark that on your calendar. It would have been the 21st, except we have a leap year this year, so we have an extra day in February this year. That's the only thing that I have on the general discussion. If nothing more, we'll move on to the next item, number 2. Approved minutes from the regular meeting held December 20th, 2023. Our meeting for January had to be canceled because we did not have a quorum. So we don't have minutes from that.
Just have that. Do you have a sheet on there with stating record of the attendance? So both of them, that's another item on the next one.
Okay. Comments, anybody want to make a motion to
I'll
approve?
make a motion that we approve the minutes from December the 20th. Sorry, what date? Yeah, December the 20th.
Do I have a second? Yes. We have a motion and a second that we approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So the minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda. Approved minutes from the regular meeting held January 17th, 2024. So Lorena just explained that there was at least a minutes put out to acknowledge the what the attendance was.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from January the 17th of 24.
I guess since I was the only one there, I have to second. So we shall think it's only the two of us.
Thanks.
So the two of us that were here, we approve of this.
Oh, it came that day?
Yeah, he and I were the only ones. That's all right.
Sorry.
Okay, item 4 on the agenda. Receive Parks and Recreation's operation and maintenance report from the Director of Public Works. So who's going to be speaking for the Public Works today?
I mean, I can, I'm looking through this is just the report, the station inspection reports.
No, I think that's the next agenda item.
Which one's this?
This is just handy reporting number 4.
Number 4.
Maybe pass on it, because I think Wayne was telling you that. Yeah.
We
was
can,
here.
we can put a hold on
Back
it.
to it.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. Yeah, hold on.
Okay, so we'll move on. Number 5, receive monthly inspections report from Public Works. We'll have to skip on that one.
Well, the reports are there if you want to look at it,
There.
Okay.
but we can do that.
Okay.
And these are for both, this month, and I included the ones from the previous month that were already sent to you guys as well. In case anybody did not get a chance to look at it.
I'm not seeing any reason not to go ahead and approve that report. Did anybody notice anything they wanted to comment about on those?
I have a hard time reading them, so.
Mhm.
I mean,
You can't find them?
no, I found them. I just have a hard time reading them.
And basically, I mean, you're just receiving.
Make a big-
the report, you don't need to approve it.
Oh, so we don't need to approve it.
You're just receiving the report.
Yeah, it just says we're receiving it. that's what I'm saying. We're just approving the receipt of the report.
Basically that they're keeping up with taking care of it. Which is a good thing.
Okay,
Okay, the next item on the agenda is number 6. Receive update on park assignments from park board members. Okay. Let's see. Mary Lou, would you like to pick up a park to look at?
I could.
Yeah, I mean,
Usually go to them.
what's available?
So,
Bill had,
well, you live on this side and George Adams Park,
George Adams
Mr.
George Adams
He had
would be next,
Mark
near
had
your home, I guess.
had it, yeah, that would be close to your home. I'm trying to think
Would
which
you-
one Nick had.
Would you like to be the one that kind of takes a look at?
I've been keeping my.
Yeah.
If he was watching that one, because, I mean, the only reason is because I live there.
He did have that one, didn't he?
I don't mind picking that one up too, because my grandkid, we go to that park a lot.
where?
Butterfly Park.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be-
That's in my neighborhood.
George Adams is
You
right
wanna
there.
do George Adams? It's right there.
I could, yeah, as long as it's
Okay.
okay, you know, okay.
No, but we want you there 24/7.
No,
Yeah, security, your security.
You got your golf cart with a light on it.
Yeah. That'd be cute.
So assigning.
You got it. You can do whenever you want.
Which one do you have?
Claret Crossing.
I do. I walk around the park.
Claret.
Yeah.
And I have Lighthouse,
You know,
You have
that
Lighthouse.
stuff, you know.
but I live,
You see
and
something.
my kids, we walk to Butterfly all the time.
It's no big
So
deal.
you're okay with two?
Yeah, in fact, I have some things to point out today if nobody else reports on it.
I think he was the one doing
Okay.
it.
Is he not coming anymore? No, because
Tracy
he's,
had,
he's a candidate
for something,
right?
Oh.
So he had George Adams, so now you have it.
Okay, So that's-
It's not really a patio, but it's.
so that place, it's called Faye Bauer Starting Park.
Okay, it's a
Right,
park.
Yeah, so he has that one.
Does
So yeah,
Tracy?
that'll work out.
Okay, but is Tracy still on?
Well,
He may not be active
Yeah.
today.
Oh, I
to
see.
go back and I need to make sure on all the attendances, but yeah.
I see. I see. So you're picking up Butterfly?
I don't mind, since, like I
And I'll
said,
pick
I'm
up
there
that
all the
one.
time.
I'll pick up Tracy's.
Well, let's don't.
I know,
be
I know,
official.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, but if it comes up, unless somebody else wants it, Kevin, do you want it? Mac, do you want
Well,
it?
I mean, after I go visit Bayfront, I usually go by and take a look at it. I mean, I don't get out of the car or anything, but I kind of look across and see what it needs, but I don't care.
Okay. And Bill, this is Bill's second one too, right then?
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
on the same page. on the renewal.
I missed last,
All right.
I missed last one.
Did you get a chance to look at Claret?
I did. It's fine. I mean, outside of the rain and mowing grass, I know they got it on the cycle, so there ain't even no point talking about them mowing grass. They'll get to it. Everything else is fine. It's a brand new park, so.
Dina?
Lighthouse, I know we've got a lot to talk about Lighthouse in a little bit, but the barbecue pits over in those tent area. Some of them are like falling down off the poles and the barbecue pits really need some attention.
It's already been addressed.
Okay.
The welding shop at the high school is gonna fix them.
Awesome, awesome.
Oh,
that's nice.
Love it.
excellent,
And the
yeah.
other thing, I love the speed bump. I hate the blinky light in the middle of the park, but that's just me.
The speed bump has made a huge difference.
Yes, I do appreciate that, but
I would like to have 2 more, actually.
I can see where.
It's approved.
The pedestrian.
Get it, girl.
walkways.
Forget it.
I'd like to have one on each side.
Yeah. And then on, and those were the only comments I had. Everything else is looking beautiful. You're doing a great job. I just thought in the night, if I were camping in those RVs, that blinky light would drive me nuts. But other than that, everything's wonderful. And that's just my thing, not anybody else's. I see the need for it, but.
At night,
You don't have to-
George Adams lit up.
Mhm.
Are they
Charging for the pier?
lit up at night?
No?
The little
Are there
pavilion. over there?
plans to charge for the pier?
Just go buy them one night from Walmart or something.
Okay. I just passed by it.
Discussions about
Online.
things, we'll get to that.
We,
I don't know if this was time or not, so no problem.
So we have an agenda item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll push them.
No, you're good.
Get on my soapbox here.
Let it scare you and do not feel.
And then Butterfly Park, the workout equipment that's there. I'm trying to see Jody, but she's behind the podium anyway, so it doesn't really.
Get out of the way.
The workout equipment that's there, the playground thing is great. But that workout equipment, my granddaughters and I went over there to play on those, and the rust on that corrugated, whatever that metal is
we
called.
had that discussion here a couple months ago.
Longer than a couple of months, but yes, ma'am.
The survey, and I think the consensus was, we just haven't had a chance to read it. The consensus, I believe, was to go ahead and get rid of that. And then.
At least-
Because we have a choice, we either spend the money to renovate all that, or just get rid of it and put something else in its place.
What did the survey ever say, Jody?
I have that with me, I'm thinking the majority, was in favor of getting rid of it and putting it in place.
Yes. I agree, that's what the survey said.
But there were more people than I thought that said that, they would like to get it fixed, but I don't not believe that was. I think we reported on that couple of months ago, but I don't have that in front of me right now. But we can make sure, maybe Lorena, make a note and let's make sure we make that an agenda item next month. To specifically talk about that.
If anything else, maybe we can at least take it down.
At least
it's rust.
Yes, and there's a lot
Correct.
of these kids get out there that are unsupervised, and I've seen them out there.
Yeah.
And but these are older kids that I've seen that are not supervised out there, and I don't want them to get hurt. I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
And, it has been a problem for time. I feel like it has been. So if anything, just take it down and then we figure out what to do with it later on. I mean, I know we don't want to replace it and we don't know what to replace it with, even if we do replace it, but at least if it's gone, nobody gets hurt. At least that's how I feel. At least do my part.
Fair enough.
I agree with that. And the sign, the backside of the sign is really ratchet looking, and I mean, I know it's the backside, but it's still visible when you drive around the park.
That one is still, is that a wood, that one of the.
Yeah, it's a plywood sign, and so it's,
Sign we can do like we did at City Park.
Yeah, that's what my plans are for that.
and that's all I have. Thank you.
I took a drive through Bayfront a while ago and the park looks generally okay, but as Kevin pointed out, everything right now is probably needing to be mowed. And my suggestion, Wayne, on mowing right now, especially at Bayfront and those open fields, is cut it short, and that way it helps kill out that clover. And so it doesn't go to seed and make more grass burrs. So that's just my suggestion. It's a sort of a cheap way to get it sort of controlled without having to put pesticide or herbicides out and so forth.
That would work if it were
Dry.
smooth and dry. If we go to try and cut it, that low to do that and we hit something and we're scalping and creating holes.
Yeah, I understand.
I've already mentioned that to the guys.
Try to go as low as I can with it to keep it from going to seed, so to speak, which is what literally happens. Okay, I don't have anything else. I did drive by,
Fay, George Fay, I'm going down the park.
yeah, Faye. I drove by that park and it looks pretty good from the street and I know that they'll probably have something going on down there fairly soon because I think iguana's coming up. Is that correct?
Where are you talking about? Which part?
Hey,
Sterling.
Fay-
Hey, Sterling.
Fay Bauer Sterling.
I honestly don't know. I mean, if they're, how much they're, I mean, we'll have, one of us, I guess.
Lately, Iguana Fest has been going from Virginia Street to for 2 blocks instead of all 3 blocks of downtown.
Yeah.
So unless they get a lot more vendors than normal or something like that, they're only gonna probably use 2 of the 3 blocks. And that does include Faybauer Sterling Park. Faybauer Sterling Memorial Park is the actual name. Else here, Olga?
City Park is the same way as far as the mowing. It looks like it could
They're
use
scheduled to do that this.
great. And my only other concern that I have on the city park is, I don't know what you call it, but I call it the playground area. I don't know what we can use as far as like weed killers or anything, because there's a lot of grass already growing into the playground.
Supposed to be keeping up with that, so we'll.
Is that them as well? There's two.
That's our guys.
Oh, our guys, okay, our guys, there's some little concerns there in several areas where the grass is growing through. Now, I know that with the freeze, a lot of it is dry, but there's a lot of green that's coming through now. And also, there's a couple of ant piles that are in the playground area as well. Other than that, the park looks really well. I mean, it's clean. The bathrooms are clean. They don't smell. I mean, that's what I go by and when I go check. Sorry. But everything else looks good. I seen the lights the other day. They all seem to be working, so things good. I still would like more greenery on Highway 35, because if people see that right off,
Yeah, it's,
I know.
it's money and time, but.
I hear you.
It's on the plan.
Yeah.
It's getting to it, yeah.
But other than that, the park looks good.
Yeah, I think that completes the reports for item 7. No, item 6 rather. So we're gonna back up and pick up number 4 is receive Parks and Recreation's operations and maintenance report from the Director of Public Works.
So aside from the daily maintenance that they do every day with the trash and that of the parks, they're. I think they've got 5 signs left to put in, the rule signs. And I'm working on the other little sign for the piers.
Yeah.
To touch on the weed killer. It has been an insane time. They've not got any spraying done because the weather. They're just. If we sprayed and then it rains overnight, it washes it all away, so it does absolutely no good to try and spray. Or if the wind's blowing, they can't spray. But it's scheduled to be done, so they're gonna be quick on it as soon as, we've got clear enough weather to do so. The only other thing that I have to add is I completed the pre-construction meeting for the water slide at the pool. And they're just waiting for the materials to arrive on site to start putting that together.
Wonderful.
I've instructed the Parks Department to order the rental pump to drain the pool so it can be cleaned and painted and ready to go for opening day.
What day is that?
I do not know yet. We just approved the contract with the YMCA, so I haven't gotten a schedule of when they're opening it. And then I'm looking at some additional maintenance items just as backup so that if something happens, I've got it to. So we're not down. I'm gonna order a spare pool pump and spare chlorine pumps. And all the piping and hosing that's associated with that. And then we should be ready to go for the.
Like backups.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I got.
That's it. Any other questions or anything? Okay, great. Thank you, Wayne. Next item on the agenda, getting back on track, number 7. Receive financial status report on the Parks Recreation Department. Is there anything in that to highlight?
Not unless you guys have questions about anything. There's been no extemporaneous purchases or anything that's out of the ordinary. Jody, do you have anything?
Wait, this is. What's in my packet is dated January 10th.
There should be 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
You should have,
I'm probably just missing the second.
yeah, there should be 2 sections. One of
Oh,
them.
yeah, that was two. Okay. Yeah, by the 15th, I just looking because sometimes the rush one doesn't get posted immediately at the beginning of the month, and it takes a couple days. By the 15th, it should be. I don't have anything.
Okay. All righty, in that case, we'll move on to item 8, discuss establishment of a quote, "We Love Lavaca Parks" quote, campaign and proposed policies for use of funds donated to the campaign by the public.
We spoke about this, in December. And y'all were gonna just kind of think about it, but I mean, basically. I think the only thing that was kind of still up in the air is whether, again, what things could be eligible, for use of these funds. And so I think the consensus is that they are not eligible for anything related to maintenance whatsoever. And so and I have no problem about making that recommendation to council. As far as the full-blown policy regarding other donations, we're still working on that to bring to you. But as far as being able to establish this bank account so that we can then, begin to have an avenue to accept online donations. Again, in council requested that we talk about the policy of how those funds are used. And so in the memo, it shows eligible use of donated funds. But anywhere that's mentioned maintenance, we can just eliminate that. Not use maintenance.
How do we get the word out, Jody?
Tina and I'll get all that out. Yeah, it's not gonna be overnight, it's gonna take us a while to do that, but
Advertising.
we're working it. This is still a broader discussion to be made. And just so you know that at our workshop in March, which is March 26th, I think. March 25th. We will be having a workshop with council to discuss a variety of things regarding Lighthouse Beach, the RV park, the operations. And so, we haven't really talked about it too much, but it might be a good idea to maybe have a joint meeting with the Parks Board that evening. Or we can poll you on, see how many want to attend. If it's not a quorum, then we wouldn't post it. But we'll be, we're going to discuss today, the initial discussion about, looking at the rates. But we need to discuss with council, once and for all, some ideas whether or not we want to charge for entry into the park, for the pier, for, just the overall operations. So that is going to take place at the workshop.
And that's March 26th. Pass the word around and we'll find out if we need to have a meeting or a joint workshop. It's a workshop, right?
It's a workshop, right? So that we're not voting on anything, it's just discussing and, you know, coming up with ideas, and then if out of that, we need to change policy or change race, whatever, then that'll happen. in April.
Jody, the 25th or the 26th?
It's the Monday.
Monday, okay, the 25th, it's the
That's
25th.
25th.
Yeah, I was looking.
And so are you asking if we, the board, would like to participate in that workshop? Is that
Yeah.
what I'm hearing?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, I mean,
I think it's a good idea.
yeah, I mean, I would think we want some representation at that meeting, that workshop. As far as whether it needs to be an official Parks Board meeting, we can do that if there's enough, you know, members that want to come, that we would have a forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no objection to the board participating in that workshop. We actually would have until we could actually make that final decision on the 20th when we reconvene.
Yeah.
We can't because the workshop's on the 25th and the meeting's on the 20th.
Yeah, we'll post on the
We
25th.
would be posting on that day, yeah.
21st, so
Oh.
we make the decision on the 20th, that's fine.
Yeah, the
Oh, I see.
Parks Board could still post, yeah.
Well, no, it'll be one note, if it's a joint, it'll be one notice and it would just say joint.
Monday night.
Yeah, we would post it on that
We'll
Wednesday.
post it that 20th, that's the.
I
day
see,
one.
I see. I'm sorry. I'm
But closer to if needed, I could
Yeah, we can
send an email or text y'all and ask y'all if you guys, you know, how many of you.
I have issues on Monday nights with my little ones.
Yeah.
One has
Baseball starting up?
baseball and then one has dance, so.
Ah,
busy man.
So I can give you my opinions.
Yeah.
And then y'all can just carry them to the meeting and then so be it,
Yeah,
Sure.
if that works for y'all,
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if only like a few of you are gonna come, it's fine, y'all can come and be kind of
Yeah.
like comments from the public.
right.
Either way,
The,
yeah.
the only way we potentially run into an issue is if we have enough of our board members there that it would constitute a quorum.
Correct.
And so if only two or three of us show, maybe, I don't know if it's three, it might be more.
It depends.
Because I don't know, I really, I'm still not clear on a six-member board, what a quorum constitutes, whether it's three or
It
four.
would have to be four.
Yeah.
I mean, majority.
It has to be over half, correct? So four of us would have to show up to be a quorum at that point. And and I think Tracy is probably still gonna be on the board after this. Because I think this is only the second one in a row that he's missed, but I'm not 100% sure. It may be his third, but.
But as far as the item at hand, which, you know, our first step is trying to establish this bank hangout for, policy donations. Wherever on this memo where it talks about maintenance. Like I said, the consensus last time was just to mark that out
Yeah.
and everything else was okay.
Either mark it up.
The only thing that I'm noticing here is in your little, in your note on the packet, it says something about considering maintenance of landscaping and other capital improvements that are funded by the special funds. And I think my concern is we can maybe come to an agreement of what that constitutes here today. But, you know, if for some reason we get a different city manager or different public works person, you know, there's no definition for what that really means.
Yeah, so that's why, I mean, for simply, we just eliminate,
So
mention the maintenance.
I guess I'm concerned about how do we define that word maintenance of any other capital improvements? Because my example was, all right, let's say we use funds to buy a park bench. Does that mean does this fund always have to, finance the pay.
Have to,
Maintenance of taking care of a park.
ARPA
And-
was available to, but
Now,
it's not that big a deal because, I mean, I don't think we'll generate enough funds, you know, to be able to do all that anyway, but.
But all I'm saying is in the
All of what it's
future,
eligible for, not.
all I'm saying is that in future it could be subject to interpretation, although we have an understanding that in my example, that wouldn't happen.
well, and I'm just like any other public works director, I would imagine, but when you use something that is essentially grant funds, those funds aren't designed to sustain
Correct.
your purchase.
Correct.
So if we use those funds to purchase something, that item purchased now belongs to the maintenance fund, which is separate from those funds.
I agree. I
And that's-
100% agree with that.
On this sheet, we're marked, you know, it says capital improvements of public parks, landscaping, irrigation, period. Or not, you know.
No maintenance.
Deleting maintenance of landscaping, the rest of that's okay.
Yeah,
And
but
donations
just omit
shall not
maintenance
be
altogether.
for repairs and maintenance,
I'm good with
and
that.
then delete all that and.
All right. So, Jody, would you like for us to, with the exception of, taking out the word maintenance, would you like for us to make a motion that we recommend this?
Well, before we do that, earlier I had asked you, how are you gonna get the word out? Okay, ma'am, because I also see the funds shall not be used for advertising on there.
Right, we're not using these dollars for advertising, that would be,
Yeah,
So that would come out of our parks budget.
yeah, I mean, you know, we'll be.
counterintuitive to what we're
Right.
trying to do.
Most of the time it's done through things like Facebook and that sort of thing that doesn't have a charge associated
Well-
with it, but.
I was wondering, would that be under the events or something like that? Committee?
I mean, this will be like, you know, I mean, we're envisioning putting a sign as you enter the park, you know, park sign, but then, you know, on that sign, you have a QR code to where you could donate easily, you know, so it's not gonna be like a lot of, there's not a huge expense.
Okay. I just thought advertising, we should use some of the money for advertising, but
But
okay.
we're not, yeah, I mean.
We don't have any money yet, though.
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't
But I
find us having no money, so.
People would be hesitant to donate if they thought it was going advertising.
Right.
You know, they want it to go to get something done.
In setting up the account, you want to make sure that you're 100% absolutely transparent so that they know what the funds will and won't be used for.
Okay. All right, Ginger.
If we ensure that we outline that clearly, then people are more likely to donate knowing what their funds will go for.
I think we have an understanding now. All we need is a recommendation to the council that we had approve this initiative. I have a motion.
I'll motion it.
Can you make a motion?
Yes, sir.
I second the motion for the edited version of this.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Alrighty, thank you for your work on this, Jody.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda. Number 9. Receive status report on continued mural project, Lighthouse Beach and west end of restrooms.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Michael.
I have a. So originally, we approved those 2 bird designs and I got those up on the walls. And later on, Jody had the great idea of putting something in the center wall between those 2 wing walls. And so, of course, before we put anything on there, I'm pretty sure I need to get y'all's approval. And so I have a design for that today. And so I can go ahead and pass it around and everyone kind of see what they want to say about it. But that's what we'll be going in between the 2 wing walls, right in the front where the water fountains are coming out of. And it'd be keeping up with the same kind of concept and theme that we've been doing with the other, with the other paintings. But yeah, that is definitely what we got.
All the way across, though, right? I mean, the bathrooms are gonna be right here and it's still gonna be on the side too.
Yes, yeah, you'll have the wing walls and then it'll be right.
Yeah, the wing walls are, yeah, everything.
Right.
There won't be inside.
Not just the middle one. I don't like it.
I like the design. I'm not thrilled with the color.
That's what I was gonna
Red,
say.
orange,
The black.
I love your birds, but when you put the red, orange background on there, it really distracted from the birds. And I know everyone's a
I don't like the
critic,
black.
but red fades so quickly in the sun. You know, for longevity of the art,
Went out something.
that bold orange red is, it kind of hides the birds.
Yeah.
It distracts from the birds. And so I think continuing with that bright orange red would be a mistake on our part. I think a more neutral or natural beachy color would enhance, would.
Well, this is supposed to sort of depict a sunrise. So,
It'll kind of blend in with what we've already got.
right,
I mean, that's, you know, it's a good point to think of moving, forward. I don't know.
there are ways to make the birds pop
Change on this.
besides changing the background color too.
I know it's just petty, but could we make it the same color for the city of Port Lavaca, the blue?
We could.
I mean, because isn't our color more or less blue? And we want to make our signs uniformed all over the city?
Make
The logo, yeah, thank you, the logo, I couldn't think of the word.
It's black.
It's black.
Oh, well, the background. though,
Yeah,
I
see,
think-
I think that's the only thing I didn't like about the black and then that stuff. I thought since we want our signs all the same uniform, I thought it would be nice to keep it that way.
You thinking more of the blue and the white? Thank you. The blue and the white kind of design, or kind of like how it is up here on the front of
Michael, I'm sorry, I don't recall what it looks like up there in the front,
We have it right
but
there
I
on
know
our-
that it's blue
Yeah,
and white.
Kinda.
Yes, thank you,
We
yeah,
have it
something
right
like
here
that.
Too.
Okay.
Something like that, since we're kind of
Yeah.
keeping it uniform.
Absolutely. Oh.
I know it's petty, but
No, this is very good input. It's very good input. Because you're right, the red will fade quicker than most other colors, but it is an exterior grade paint. So we should get a fair bit of longevity out of it. It shouldn't fade away within a couple years and nothing like that. It should last at least. I couldn't give you an exact, but I want to say it'll last at least a decade, if not longer. I would like to say, but I'd have to talk to the people at Sherwin-Williams because they know a lot more than I do about the longevity of the paint, but it should hold up though. I want to say so because it is an exterior grade latex and it should not, the sun should not. It shouldn't take it out too quickly.
It's just like a house. You gotta repaint a house every
Yeah.
5 years here, so
yeah,
the same thing. About as good as you're gonna get, no matter what color.
no matter what type of paint.
Mine's due.
Well, that was the only concern that I had on that.
Yeah.
But I see Dina's point as well.
Since I paint too, and I've painted lots of outdoor benches and outdoor things, over the years, experience has taught that's why coastal colors are coastal colors because they hold up best in.
That's why we don't make our playgrounds red.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, alrighty, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
I think we like that design, yes.
This the main real edit is you want to turn the crest more into a kind of like how it is like the blue and white crest.
Yes.
Either that one or this one, because I noticed that it's opposite from what's right here.
If I could, can I take a picture of somebody's mouse pad real quick, just so I got that exactly? Thank you. Thank you.
Because the one on that paper, I think the sails are white and this one's blue, so it doesn't really matter, but I would just like our signs to be the same.
No, I think that's a great idea. Okay, all right, then I'll go ahead and I'll get started on this ASAP.
All righty, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. All right. Item number 10, consider and discuss current Lighthouse Beach rental rates to make any amendments necessary.
Okay, I think, it's been a while since, few years, we looked at the rates for Lighthouse Beach. RV park. And I think what's in your packets, actually I put together like a month ago. And since then, I think actually that is the most current one, because then when later I was adding like $100 to some of this. Remember right, anyway. I've got some in your packet, well, separately, I stapled some information together. I think there was also on your table. Also, some of the information that Jennifer put together. It's kind of color coded, because I think I put it in your packet as well, but one thing I did just to start the conversation is I went and I looked and tried to come up with some reporting on how we're doing as far as occupancy of the RV park. I just did this morning, pulled this out of our Camp Spot software. And for the year 2023, it's showing that on the RV spaces, we just isolate those. Over the year, we had a 58.7% occupancy rate.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't get it. How many?
It's a 58.7% occupancy rate.
Thank you. Oh,
So that's a total of 51 RV spaces. So I was looking, because a lot of the RV campgrounds around, I think, and even what Jennifer's giving you is some of the other rates around town. They charge extra for electricity. Which we're not gonna go meter like our individual RV spaces. I did go look at what we're paying for electricity for the whole campground. And actually, our kilowatt hour rate just went up in January. About 4 cents, 6 cents.
Okay, I was gonna say, this has to be a typo here because you got us paying 60 cents.
Not 60, it's 6, sorry. It's, but our total bill of everything for January is about $3,800. And prior to that, it was running like 3,200 or so. And it does fluctuate, but just for, exercise right now, I didn't go back, and I can do that, but right now I didn't go back and look at last year, look at the peak times in the sun or anything like that, but let's say, it's $3,800 per month. And for the 51 spaces that are available, at a 58.7% occupancy rate, we would need to generate about $127 per space, or in a rent to pay that $3,800. So just to kind of give us an idea, what all we need to add into addition to just the rental to cover our costs for electricity. So I'm thinking, here, you look back what we were looking at, like I said, I know I didn't look at this ahead of time because I was thinking that we had increased or recommended increased those. So this is weekly rate for the Lighthouse Beach and RV Park, the hillside. It's currently $250. If we went to that's just like $75 over. We're showing we could expect to pay again about $125 for electricity. So if we want to look at increasing our rates to be one, we don't want to really be in competition with other parks in town, so we want to be at or above the R. We don't want to be undercutting them.
You are.
Plus, though, we need to consume the electricity, because even if we're about the same rate, if they're charging electricity, we're not, then we're still below them. So if we look at what Jennifer's got here, in the second page of the staple packet, schematic of the park, it shows you, just in case you're not familiar with this, the blue or the waterfront. when we talk about the waterfront, these are the ones, there's 19 of them.
It's 33.
And these are the ones that we only allow a weekly rental. Like, we don't
Daily and weekly.
daily rate, and we do not allow monthly. So that is something that was decided several years ago in the Parks Department. That will be a topic of discussion at this workshop, whether, we want to, in order to generate more revenue, whether we want to open up some of these for monthly or not. The theory was, we were leaving these open for only daily or weekly to have plenty of room for tourists to come and camp whenever they want to. Now, I'm like, looking back over last year, and I haven't had a chance to really analyze it fully, but it's clear that there's a lot of activity on the weekends throughout the year, not so much during the week. And, in the off season, there's not a whole lot. So again, it's a matter of, whether we want to open some of that up or right now, I don't know it's gonna be that much difference, because honestly, we're not full capacity at our hillsides. We're 100% capacity there, and we had people, wanting to come in, and we didn't have a place to pay monthly rent. That might be worth a discussion. But right now, that's not the case, but I think there's someone on council that at least have that conversation. There's 20 on the hillsides, the pink. There are 28 sites. And of the green, there are 4 available, because the other 4 are the camp hosts and the mix. That are in the park. So there's 4 available for rental of the green, all the pink, and all the and those are what we're showing are at, when I say 58% occupancy throughout last year. So then the next sheet is where Jennifer Scott has put together all of them and looked at some other weights. Yeah, you're right. I'm missing this 0 there. It's supposed to be 6 cents. So I guess Jennifer did this, so she can speak on it. Looks like there's 6 parks in town. That you learned about.
I only did a couple here in town, the rest, I just chose random cities up and down the coastline.
Around where, ma'am? I'm sorry, Jennifer, I didn't hear it.
I chose random cities up and down the Texas coast.
At the coast?
Fair enough.
So it looks like 6 of them she found that were $600 a month. Plus the electricity, 8 at $400 a month plus electricity, 9 at $350 a month plus electricity. And again, currently, right now, our monthly rates are $500 a month. But we're not charging electricity or anything.
I'm just wondering about the ones that are 9 at $350 plus electricity, what they offer? Nothing?
No.
I mean, I was gonna say so.
I mean, and again, it's a field.
Yeah, I mean, because, we offer I feel like we offer quite a bit.
Yes.
And I did skip over to the request and I like the fitness area. I don't know about the pool pass since we got that. And
Yeah, that's not likely to happen in our partnership with the YMCA.
right, that's what he's not saying, but the fitness area might be a good idea. If it was an open fitness area, like up and down the beach or something. I mean, I'm not saying right now, but like something like we have at Butterfly Park, something like that. Not a shelter or anything like that,
I spoke with Jody about this already. We really don't have an area for this right now. I mean, it could be futuristic, but I had thought about teaming up with Planet Fitness, or 24-hour fitness, whatever it is, over by T-Mobile.
Uh-huh.
to see if they would do some kind of rate for our guests, you know, basically, because they don't want to buy a year membership, they're gonna be there
Right.
for 2 months.
Right.
But if they could, you know, say, hey, here's $3, I can work out for an hour. So I've already spoken to the lady over there at the fitness area, and they're gonna talk about it.
Okay. I was thinking more like the butterfly park in the open area out there, because, I mean, I know we have the can't even say it, volleyball nets out there, right? And then we do the walking. So maybe some, I don't know,
But again, with the fitness is sort of,
yeah.
because of being on the beach, we gotta be very careful with what we.
But you have, yep. There we go back to the rest again. Well, that's the reason I was looking at the 350. I said, well, that's not bad, but what do they offer? You know, so.
But again, and I think, I don't think that would be you remember what the lakeside was? Weren't they were they 400 plus?
Is that the ones over here?
Yeah.
No, the lakeside over there, I believe are 700.
Okay, see, okay, so I think that's where I was, cause I'm re-looking at this now, that I was on the wall. Yeah, we were going from 500 to 650 for the monthly rate for the RV park for the hillsides. So that would be consistent with this, you know, this 6 plus 600 plus, but plus Christie's. And they are, like you said, 600 or 700,
I think it's 750.
but it's electricity's on top of that.
Yes.
Right.
So something else to calculate in that is now that we've got TISD on board with the contract, we're gonna be providing Wi-Fi as construction crew gets here and we go out and designate where we can set the poles. So we may, venture to go up to that $700 price.
I think that
We're, the
the purpose of today's conversation is just to start the conversation. Again, I think we're gonna discuss all this at workshops on fit, but I guess I'm trying to get a feel, make sure Parks Board's kind of on board with the premise that we want to,
Increase.
do not want to compete with our other parks in town. So we're looking at trying to get at or above what they are, and consider also our features, everything that we do have at the park.
Yeah.
And so we can go back and continue on this and get back up data. Of the premise.
Me.
To do that.
I think the park's too cheap, meaning the rates are too cheap. Would you say the electric bill was 30?
Yeah, for the whole park, but then, again, you can argue. We want the RV park to help pay for.
As they should, you can break that down into daily rates. It's like $4 to $5 a day per site. If at 100% capacity.
Correct. And
So
that's-
then double that because we run 50% capacity. Okay,
Right.
we're going up $8 a day. You go from $55 to $63.
And that's why
I ran a waterfront spot for my son's birthday party because it's cheaper than buying a bounce house to go to my house. So I mean,
Our bill for White House Beach for January was $3,800.
So, I mean, in your opinion, do you think $700 is a lot?
It's a lot.
A lot?
not for,
I didn't think so either. And I understand we don't want to compete, but we don't want to go under either.
right, and
But I mean, I'll be frank with you, that is the complaint we are getting around town, that we are in competition with the local RV park.
Okay, sorry, because we're lower.
Yeah.
Yes,
And-
and so we want, we don't, council doesn't want to be in competition with them.
but unfortunately, that's just the way it's gonna roll.
But,
And
we don't wanna be undercutting the other parks.
I don't wanna compete with Home Depot, but I do. You know what I mean? I deal with that every day.
Right.
Like, oh, I can get it cheaper in Home Depot. Okay, I'm glad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To
But-
put it into perspective, your RV parks, they're businesses.
They are.
So they're looking at their price structures daily. We're a government entity. We set our prices and then they get set off to the side because we have more important things to do. So the prices get ignored. This was done when we raised the prices when I came in 5 years ago.
It's been a while, yeah.
And
So 750 is too much? I'm just trying to figure it out.
You
I
mean
mean,
for-
actually, I think-
for Lavaca?
Well,
Or-
no, because we're
or
not
for
looking
private
at,
car?
I'm looking at 750.
Looking for a waterfront
Right.
RV park.
Right, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking 750 is probably right around where we should be,
Uh-huh.
given the fact that we don't want our park to be a home for contractors.
Exactly.
And if you offer all monthly spots, it's gonna be for most of the hands, which is fine. They pay.
Right, and that's.
That's fine.
We do want that for the hillside.
That's why I recommended 5 years ago that we make the waterfront slides daily and weekly only, so that they're not booked up with contractors when we want our snowbirds to come in.
Right, and I see also that we don't have a charge, since we're talking about charge. We also don't have an off-season rate. I thought we did up there on the waterfront. That we did so many, sometime back, I don't, maybe I dreamt it, that we had so many, and I'm thinking they were the ones, I could be wrong. Towards the playground, those were monthly during off-season, just in case. We had somebody that wanted to come down here for fishing and that kind of stuff, because isn't there a lot of fishing tournaments also in the winter or off-season?
There's a few. You got the Formosa tournament that runs end of October. I think is that still of our busy season?
Yeah.
And then you've got, most of them are out of Porter Connor. Local tournaments don't run during the off season.
Yeah.
I think the Formosa tournament is the last one of the year.
Yeah.
As far as Lavaca Bay goes. You got a bunch in Porter Connor. I know you got the freeze out, you got all kinds of stuff, but they have amenities and those people got too much money. They're probably flying their jets in here.
And then, yeah, I mean, what it.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with that too much money thing. but go ahead.
Oh.
They're ridiculous.
Well, when they're paying $250,000 for a bay boat, you got too much money.
Saying,
So
I've seen some of the boats. And then the other thing, our off-season, I would like to change the date on that too.
so
Why can't we start,
that is,
ended it in February?
okay, that is not our off season.
Oh,
That is other RV parks.
well, yeah, but we don't have an off rate.
In
I think we should have an off-rate season as well, maybe the 700 then and the 750.
in the 5 years I've been here, we've not had an off-season pricing because it doesn't offer any benefit.
No.
Okay,
It wouldn't bring snowbirds in?
that's what I was wondering.
No, they're gonna come to us because
Off season,
I'm backwards on off season.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
snowbird season
Got
is
it.
peak.
Gotcha,
your winter Texans are gonna come in through the winter months.
Gotcha.
And the summertime would be what we would consider our off-season. And there's just no benefit for us to have. That's, if anything, that's when we want to have the higher prices.
So for example, because I fish a lot all over the county, all out of here,
Thank you.
to to reserve a spot at Shoalwater Flats, the RV park at Shoalwater Flats is $65 a night. There ain't a splash pad one, there ain't a shade tree one. It is a gravel lot that they just poured concrete slabs on to have RV hookups. It's great. I go there to fish. I spend 2 nights there. It's cool. We're charging $55 a night here. You've got splash pads, you've got jungle gyms, you've got a beach. You can run that to $75, $85 a night and nobody's gonna bat an eye. You can run it to $100. I'm still gonna rent it for my son's birthday party. It's-
Well, see, that's what the rates on this right column, we were proposing as minimum. So we think they need to be at least that much. Or maybe more, you know, and that was before I really looked into like this one. And this would be a minimum.
It's in there.
And look at,
Packet, it's in the budget
it's in,
and it's in for the ordinance part of the packet.
oh,
this was.
Yeah.
65, 325.
Two.
Oh, 102, yeah, it's what's on your packet.
Yeah, got it, okay. I think we should go higher than that.
Yeah, this would be an absolute minimum to look at.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with it. People that actually can travel, and for lack of a better phrase, that can afford to travel during these times, they're gonna pay it.
They're gonna pay.
You know, especially with the amenities that we do have there.
But ma'am, just because we pick it up, don't mean it's etched in stone and we see in a couple of years that it's not working out.
I
And in a couple of years, electricity's gonna go up if nothing goes down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're too high now, in a couple of years, we might just be where we need to be.
Right on target.
And
Yeah.
if we're talking $750 for a monthly rate, okay, now we go to not charging electricity because we've done figured out that running at 50% capacity for a month, you're $126 per spot,
It can be
$150. So, okay, so we go from 500 to 650, you jump it up another $100. They don't have to pay electricity. They think they're getting a bargain and we're covering all the overhead.
Yeah. And then you still get yours where we don't have to charge to go to use the park on a daily basis. Unless you've changed your mind about that.
And then for the off-season conversation that we don't have, okay, it's $650 a month in the off-season. It still covers all the overhead and everything's done.
Now, the only part I didn't understand correctly, because I'm way over here and I guess my mind is over there, is the Wi-Fi, we don't have it, but we're gonna have it.
Yes.
I mean, that's gonna be included in the amount too, right? So,
So just to bring this into perspective, 5 years ago, when I put these rates together,
right,
just I made full approval. We didn't have any staff at the park.
right.
We had volunteers that lived there, free rent to run the park. These prices were to cover the cost of electric, cost of water. The maintenance of the amenities that are there for the sites. There was nothing that paid staffing or any of that. So it was total break even. Now we have staffing. So there's no break even there.
You
We're
have to treat it
actually
like a
in the
business.
red.
And we.
Are you volunteering, Jennifer?
Uh-huh, but not that nice.
What the other side of what I'm looking at here is not only do we have to cover the cost of water, electric and maintenance of the amenities for the RV park itself, not the regular park.
Garbage pickup.
It's not the splash pad or any of that. That's garbage, water, the electrical maintenance we've got to do because we're constantly replacing breakers. And those are, 40 to 60 bucks a piece. So you can throw all that in there, plus staffing, now Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't see as 700 to 750 being too steep.
Well, I think with the information and I figure out how I can get out of camp spot now, I can run some scenarios based upon, historical occupancy rate, because they break it down, what type of space and what the occupancy is. And so I can apply, proposed rates and kind of estimate what, project what an annual revenue stream would look like under different rates.
And also this amount of 700 and 750, ma'am, whichever slash 750, you can also project what it would be for a daily or weekly rate.
This, again, it would be,
Because we do have those weekly ones right there by the water. And I think,
those are only weekly or daily.
Right, and so-
without getting down into, there's some estimation involved. Yeah.
the 700 weekly, that's gonna be like $100 and something each, right? At 700. So I still don't think that's bad when you're thinking there's 7 days.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
It's
that was my other
It says
concern.
325, which I think is,
it'd be right at $200, $187.50. If we,
Weekly,
if you did a weekly to try to get to that $750 number. It's $187.50.
That what's currently $200.
Steps.
What we're saying, that's gonna be $750. And I think everything else is gonna kind of
play,
filter down similarly how they are related to one another here with new rate but our lead is $750, $500.
well, I think we need to charge like $10 more just because you're on the water. That's the reason I was asking you, you're gonna break it.
But you
down.
can upcharge it. We do it all the time for
Charge it.
sub packs. So we sell a screw, for example, we sell a screw in a 25-pound bucket. That's 3 cents a screw. Let's just say 5 cents. So you go to a 5-pound bucket, it's now 10 cents. And then a 1-pound bucket's 15 cents a screw. You can trickle that down. So $750 a month is what you gotta get. Okay, it's $187.50 for a week to equal that. Well, now it's $225 a week. So you still going up a little bit more, and then you break that down even by the day. And it goes from $55 to $85 a day. You're covering all the expenses for the move in, the move out, now having to go clean that site.
So what I'll do for our next meeting is I'll look at a couple scenarios, have one at least with that $750 for the monthly rate, see how the rest go out. And then at that meeting on the 20th, we can kind of fine tune that, and then we'll know what we're gonna be presenting or recommending
The
to
20th.
council to consider during the workshop as a starting point for discussion. Okay, so that's good work.
Yeah.
Right.
Couple of quick questions, kind of along these similar lines. Tent sites, you don't have a recommendation for,
Yeah, tent site prices are,
We don't get.
You gotta be cheap.
Popular and tennis, they may not be able to afford them. That's more-
The Girl Scouts don't go out there anymore?
there are times that those tent sites are packed.
Yeah.
I mean, overflowing packed.
there's generally twice a year we have that. Memorial Day,
Yeah. Labor,
it comes down for it, and then the 4th of July.
July, yeah.
And honestly, I didn't really look at this, like,
There's no water or electricity.
Well, I thought the $20 there sounds good anyway, because
Yeah.
we're offering them, unless maybe a little bit more since we're gonna have Wi-Fi. I mean, they don't have electricity, they don't have water, they don't have anything.
In my opinion, it needs to go up because there's no other tent camping sites anywhere in the area.
Exactly.
Oh, man, you haven't gone over there on the outside of town?
And how hard would it be to provide water to those sites?
Pretty difficult. I've already.
Would it-
gotten the
Okay.
Water supervisor about.
Just curious, because
Yeah.
providing water would be a great
gotta-
asset, not necessarily electricity, but
They gotta plumb it all and.
yeah.
Be ripping up the road going in, run a water line over.
I'll put a water hose.
Just run a hose over there from the bathroom.
And everything in here. Yeah. Yeah, it could be a little bit more.
Okay, and the other question was, the dump station. That dump station is defunct, right?
Say both for years.
Yeah, I know. And it's a shame because it was the only dump station in this area. Not just in,
Fun, it's just we're not.
I closed it down for two reasons. One, I didn't have anybody to man it. And two, being a dump station for RVs in the park is unnecessary because the RVs in the park are hooked up to sewer.
okay,
But what I don't want is to have somebody come in from
their vacation.
wherever
They're traveling through. And use it, yeah.
with a septic tank full of God knows what. There's no way for me to police what they're putting in my system. And if they send me something that is, you know,
Really toxic.
it kills my wastewater plant, and then now you got 11,000 people suffering instead of one person with a holding tank in their trailer.
I guess I'm just thinking, the normal
I run through.
gray water, black water.
Yeah, I run into this problem in Beeville. And some of the oil field people will bring in their travel trailers
Uh-huh.
and they dump chemicals, God knows what, in their
Oh,
septic systems and then come in and kill my plant.
oh.
That's why I do not want to bring people from outside in to dump into this dump station. It just creates too much havoc and there's no way to police it.
Okay, man, so you're gonna do a little workup and whatever and bring it into us on the 20th? Thank you.
One more thing, on your little color coded charts. The blue waterfront sites. I've been speaking to a lot of the winter Texans, and the reason they don't stay at the park is because they don't wanna move every week. So I think we should do some type of winter Texan type thing. And it cannot be a plant worker, it's not gonna be for that, it's gonna be winter Texans only, that can stay a longer term.
I'm not,
Your winter Texas will turn into being working in the plant.
Yeah, 'cause I saw
You
that.
can't,
We can't do that.
Yeah, you can't say
Months we're
excluded.
good.
it's right now, it's 2 weeks.
Say it's because of.
See, when you start talking language like that, then you're talking discrimination.
I'll make sure Cindy goes and checks it, but it's 2 weeks.
They just go in and book another week as soon as everyone's coming up?
As soon as their week is up, they have to leave the park for a week, and then they can come back.
No,
No, that,
no, that's.
Cam's got that wrong, cause it's a week, gone for 2 days, they can come back. or 2 weeks, gone for 2 days, then they can come back. But it should be 2
The
weeks.
next space over. I paid
I'm happy with them, because it's not letting people vote, just 1 week.
On the kiosk, it's still being done on the kiosk? Or are you doing it?
Like,
Are you doing it, or is it still being done on
Some
the
of them
kiosk?
stay.
Everything is done online.
Yeah, then plant organs figured out quick.
And even the kiosk.
But who cares? If we're gonna allow half of them to be Winter Texan monthly, who cares? Charge a hell of a rate on it.
Go deal.
I mean, make some good money on it. Why not?
Because if you go down there right now, there's not one RV.
No, there's no RVs there.
Okay. The Winter Texans, they spend a lot of money, so I feel like the community's losing out also.
Yeah.
Our restaurants,
Just
bars.
be careful that if. How do you,
Word it.
yeah, a winter Texan is no different from a contractor. As far as discrimination is concerned. So you gotta be very
We
careful.
can only, yeah, we can't choose who's going there. We could, instead of weekly, you could say, you could book, I guess, 4 weeks at a time before having to.
Well,
I don't-
let's understand the context of how we put this together. Our campground, one is not an RV park, it's a campground.
Right.
We want it set up as a spot for tourists to come in. Now, if you're a winter Texan coming in and you're gonna spend months at a time, you're not a tourist. We want to build our tourism like Rockport has, where we bring in people for the weekend to enjoy what we have, or we bring them in for a week or week and a half, whatever. To enjoy what we have, and then they move on to their next vacation destination. I've lived in RV parks that catered to winter Texans. And Texas has an extended warm season. Where people from up north around the Canadian border have an extended cold season. So a winter Texan could be here for 8 months.
Yeah.
So that's not who we want to cater to. We want to cater to tourism. That's what it's set up for.
Well, I mean, one example that I'm aware of is I have a brother-in-law that is an RVer. And basically they sold their home and pretty much live in their RV, but they go to a place and they may stay around a month, but then they move on to another place after about a month. And that makes them more like a tourist as opposed to a winter Texan. Now they can stay up to a month or so at a place, but they're not looking to park there for 6 months or 8 months or anything like that.
I guess that's all I'm saying. Maybe we can revisit the 2 weeks and then change that.
Yeah, now the exception is, I think they home base out of Katy, Texas. So they may have a place there where when they're not traveling, they may go stay for several months. So that's different. That's what these other parks are supposed to provide, not us. Is that what I'm understanding from you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't mean
We
to.
don't want the monthly people, but the 6-month people to turn into a residence.
Right.
All righty. Have we had enough discussion on this for now and back to it?
Thank you.
I'd be safe.
Yeah, have fun.
One last thing.
Oh, no, it's all work.
Whatever. I don't believe you.
They're not voted on or anything, but Lighthouse Beach is gonna host a cornhole tournament.
Okay.
At the pavilion on May 4th, and it's gonna benefit the Humane Society. And it's not gonna cost us a dime, everything's being donated.
Thank you. All right.
Grant.
Item 11, receive information regarding GLO, SEPRA, Coastal Planning and Response Act grant for Lighthouse Beach.
Pronounced cat.
Okay.
Coastal Erosion Planning and Response. We were recently awarded a grant to perform a feasibility study to determine optimal solutions for problems listed here at Lighthouse Beach and adjacent wetlands to the southwest. Potential projects to evaluate during the feasibility study include shoreline nourishment, to combat erosion, possibly revise the groin structures to better retain sand on the beach. And building a adjacent boat ramp, potentially dredge material from boat ramp to use and create beach and or marsh, depending on the quality of the material dredged. Main project goals are to nourish the recreational beach, protect and enhance the adjacent wetlands using living shoreline techniques and marsh creation to modify the existing coastal structures around the beach to retain sand on the beach. On Thursday, January 4th, I met with Abigail Richardson and Kevin Frenzel with the General Land Office to kick off the KEPRA, that we're receiving for this feasibility study. The first step is to receive and execute the contract between the city and the state of Texas for the grant. Ms. Richardson is the GLO project manager for the grant, and she will be working on the contract language. The step following that will be executing an engineering agreement with Mark McDonald for the projects. Total cost of the study is $125,000. $75,000 is being paid with KEPRA funds and $50,000 from the city's general fund. And again, this is an engineering study to come up with a plan for both the boat ramp and the beach and the adjacent wetlands to stabilize all that. And one, or branch out the boat ramp. It's not silted back in, but within a couple months.
So this is strictly for the study, so that we can apply for grants further on down.
Once we have a study done that has identified projects, then we will go from the funding. So I just want to bring you in.
And I see. So from us, Sam, what do you need is saying okay?
This information to keep you guys in the loop.
I see.
Okay. Anything else?
I didn't know Mr. Bootlaw was the harbor master.
Yes.
I learned something today.
Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
From the pantry, right? That's the same one?
That's
His son.
Jim Bootlaw, I didn't know he was the harbor master.
Jimbo, his son, yeah.
Oh, it's his son.
Yeah.
That's what you were trying to tell me. I got it now.
Oh,
I saw Jim there and I'm going, okay, Jimbo. I said, okay, that's a nickname for him.
Okay. Item 12, discuss partnership with Whenever Water Sports Rental Kiosk operations for the rentals of kayaks and paddle boats at Lighthouse Beach.
So this company has been bugging me to get something going here in town.
Is that the same one that was wanting to do it at the Bayfront? This is a wholly different person?
This is a total different.
Okay, I'm just asking. Okay,
So I forwarded on to Jody and I think Jody agreed with me that this is actually something worth looking into and that's the reason it's why it's here. This is a pretty interesting setup and okay, so the pictures did get put in there. If you look in your packets, this is all maintenance free. The city doesn't have to touch it. Everything's done wirelessly. They rent the kayaks or paddle boards and the oars and the life jackets and they go out and they do their thing and then they put it back when they're done. And then the company collects the rental fees and then they send the city percentage, whatever that percentage may be. I think this would be a great addition to what we have for amenities at Lighthouse Beach. However, the only problem I can see with it is it's big and bulky and could take away from some of the aesthetics that we're going for, but
like in what sense? Thing? Take away from what?
the aesthetics of what we're going for at the park.
Aesthetics.
I know, but-
Beauty.
the view, the natural.
Well, I'm wondering what does that would mean by, I mean, because at one time we did talk about a kiosk, kayaks and all that, even a trail for that. So I'm wondering how would he take it away?
Because this would be a permanent structure.
Oh, it's a
That's
straw. So it's nothing like the, okay, I'm sorry.
If you scroll.
Rent like this, in Houston, you can put a credit card, you get a bicycle and you can cruise it around, right? So that's what I'm thinking. They were gonna put like a rack and,
Well, that's it. That's
It
it.
is.
So
so it's not a structure, but
Look, that,
I know.
scroll down through your
Look, it's
packet.
at the end of your packet.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry. The entire.
I don't think that would be that obtrusive. No more than a big flashing light in the middle of the park. I'm sorry.
I had to do something to slow people down.
Whatever, I like the speed bump though.
You really think it's that bad?
This could
Well,
go
it's
up
just-
by the boat ramp, right?
Just one of my
Yeah.
my personal issues with it. Otherwise, I think it's great. And the fact that it's modular, they can expand on it. If this first set they put in works out well, then they'll expand it to have even more.
I would just.
Okay, what-
Anyway.
Yeah, what kind of safety features do they like have ropes and bubbles to keep people from taking the kayak to Alcoa? You know, cause.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, see, and if they lose a kayak, that's not our business, not our problem.
We have nothing to do with it. Once they
What
pay their
about our
rental fee,
responsibility for someone getting hurt?
nothing. We're absolved from all of that.
Wow.
No liability.
So, and that goes
Yeah, I think
without
they
saying
should
too.
sign a waiver or
Yeah,
something.
they sign waivers
Okay.
and it's like anything else we've got, you know. So they'll rent a kayak and they can take it and it charges them for however long they've got
However
it.
long they have it. Okay.
And then when they turn it back in, they have to lock it and then they have to take a picture and send to the company to get their deposit back.
Oh, okay.
So I see no electricity, no water, no nothing. So basically, if we choose, I mean, I don't know how long the contract would be. But if we choose to not have it, they pick it up and take it, right? There's no damages done.
I think it's a cool idea.
I like the idea.
So there's nobody on site for that?
No, you use your credit. Now, we would have no power, but it's always
Yeah.
sunny, but looking at this, it's gonna be
Now, they have-
powered.
If you look through
Yeah.
the frequently
Very
asked
cool.
questions in your packet, they explain,
Yeah, I did see that.
but how do you handle risk and liability? All renters must agree to our comprehensive waiver before they can rent the equipment.
But bottom line, if this is something that the Parks Board thinks is a good idea, then our next step would be, yeah, run it by legal. Or, you know, get to Emery and see what.
It has the potential to generate more traffic to our park,
Mhm.
Yes.
and especially maybe more tourism. It could also benefit locals.
And it also benefits the people at the park. I mean, if I'm renting a thing out there and I wanna go kayaking. Yes, I got kiosks in the front. You know, I can just go down there for the week. I mean, the weekend. Go shrimping, I mean, I don't know, fishing, oystering.
Yeah, well, where I saw benefit in this is if we got the weekend tourists filling up the water sites. They don't have to try and figure out how they're gonna haul a kayak down.
Yeah.
Pulling an RV, they can rent one.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
So what do we gotta do?
And it adds another amenity to our
Yeah,
park.
thank you.
We can charge
Yeah.
for.
Justify it.
Or
Justify the
rates.
increase, yeah.
I mean, it adds more value and ultimately, the other thing it does is it shows not only the patrons of the park, but it shows our residents that yes, we are working on stuff for them to improve their quality of life. So it does a twofold for what my goal has been since I got here. One, improve our parks. And two, it improves perception of the city.
I like it.
I like
I do
it too.
too. What do you need from us? A motion that we recommend that we pursue this?
Yeah, you think this is a good idea for us to move forward with more research and recommend that we pursue this?
I move that we pursue investigating and implementing some kind of,
You recommend.
yeah,
Make
I
a motion.
recommend this.
There you go. And I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I'm sorry they've been bugging you. I get it.
It's
Thank you very much. I think at this point, we're looking for a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
do we get a motion and a second? All in
Was
favor?
it-
Aye.
Mary Lou,
Yeah, Mary Lou seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hey. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.